Hey, my friends. How you doing? Welcome Instagram, welcome YouTube, and of course LinkedIn. This is the Your Book, Your Voice coffee chat. Just do this open forum coffee chat every Thursday for you, the author. Whoops, tugging on my mic. For you, the author. Love to hear from you. Tell me about your book, right? Tell me about the books that you've written because my topic today for coffee chat is that if you've published multiple books, okay, if you've published multiple books, have you turned those books into audiobooks that you narrate, that you, the author who wrote and published those books, did you ever turn them into an audiobook to narrate? Because if you haven't, you are missing out on a variety of reasons, okay? First of all, if it's a nonfiction book, especially if it's nonfiction, I've worked with a lot of authors, and I see this a lot about authors who have published books, and they have maybe 2, 3, maybe even 6, maybe even 10 books plus that they've published, and they're just sitting somewhere on Amazon or in a bunch of boxes in a closet because they're not promoting their book, and maybe the books were released, you know like I said, years ago, but that doesn't mean that they aren't still relevant to be in the forefront of your author brand, as that is part of your business. Those are products that represent you as the author, and you need to make sure that they are always in the forefront. And one of the best ways that you can get your old books new again, bring them back to life, resurrect them from the dead, right? Is turning them into an audiobook that you narrate. So look back at your back catalog. Take a look at these books that you've published and re-release them as audiobooks. Now you're putting that book back into the forefront of people's minds, people who may not have even known that you've written these other books in the past, especially for the audiobook world, which, as I say a million times, and it's still true, that aspect, the audiobook world, is growing and expanding and continues to do that. A lot of people go for audiobooks before they even go for the other formats of your books. So get it out there. Take those old books of yours and publish them as audiobooks. Narrate them yourself. I did one of my last podcasts that I did, that you can catch anywhere in your favorite podcast platform. I talked about how important it is for you to narrate your own audiobook. I talked about the value of your author brand, right? I talked about how important it is to put yourself out there and always market and promote yourself as an author brand, because you're not a hobbyist. And I've talked to a lot of authors who just like, I wrote a book and just put it out there. Well, no, you're an entrepreneur. Embrace entrepreneurship and run your business. You're an author brand. You're an author business. I see, I've gone to book fairs and I've set up, because I have my own book that I published. I'm going to go grab it here. It's called Lights Action You. I published this book back in 2022. And of course, did the audiobook version as well. But I've gone to book fairs and talked to other authors, and there are some that are there that make this effort to put themselves out there and go to these book fairs or book signings, whether at libraries or bookstores or wherever, but then they don't consider themselves professional. And that's a big mistake. It's a mindset you need to shift. You need to, again, embrace entrepreneurship, because you are. And remember, no one can tell your story better than you. That's why, again, if you have published multiple books, maybe it doesn't matter how old they are, turn them into an audiobook. Preserve your legacy in your own voice, right? Preserve it in your own voice, because only you can tell your story the way it's meant to be told. And you want people to hear your story for generations, but to hear it from you, from the source, from the person who wrote it and experienced it, right? It's coming from the source. It's not, somebody writing about you, giving their interpretation. It's your interpretation because you're the one who lived it. That's why it's so important to have your book in audiobook form, and you really do need to narrate it. If you need help, by the way, there's links in the description. Book a call with me. I have an audiobook coaching program called Your Book, Your Voice, where it's a do-it-with-you program. I walk with you through the entire process. All you have to do is book a call. And those of you on Instagram, go to my profile page and click the link there, and that'll take you to where it says book a call. Free audiobook consultation call. It's a good thing. And we'll talk about the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program. I definitely want to hear more about your book and give you more details on the program. So don't let your books die on the vine, okay? If you have multiple books, get them out there. Turn them into audiobooks. It's a great way to re-release your books, getting them into the forefront of the people that are already following you in the first place, getting new followers and listeners now from the audiobook world that didn't even know you existed, because audiobooks, people go buy audiobooks before they buy any other format. Check it out, right? Do it. Get it out there. Get yourself exposed out there. It's a great marketing tool. And you, as an entrepreneur, that's a great business decision for you to make to promote yourself and your business as an author. So do it. Get out there and do it. All right, I'm going to keep Coffee Chat short today. If there is any topic that you would like me to discuss regarding the audiobook world, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, put in the comments, DM me, whatever you want. Would love to hear from you. All right. And finally, before I let you go, your assignment, as always, is when you're out and about in the world, smile at a stranger. I keep hitting this mic cable. Smile at a stranger. Say hello to them, because that small gesture of kindness can make the world a difference in somebody's life. All right. Be a life changer. We need more positivity in this world, to say the least. All right, my friends, I'll talk to you on the next edition of the Your Book, Your Voice Coffee Chat. Again, we're here at this time every Thursday. I'm Robert A. Lane, an audiobook coach and producer. If you need help getting your audiobook together, feel free to reach out to me. All right, we'll say goodbye to our YouTube and LinkedIn friends first. Thanks so much for tuning in.